In this video, I got the opportunity to face off against and fight alongside the Lifesteal SMP. This was an insane experience and it was also tons of fun. Furthermore, this is my first time using DaVinci Resolve, so please go easy on me. And with that said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. So this all happened a while back when I was frolicking in a PvP Legacy lobby and I saw that a bunch of Lifesteal people had shown up. And as interesting as that was, what was even more interesting was that about a minute or two later, I got a party invite from RecRap2. And right after I accepted that, we were queued into a 4v4 UHC match. And here's how that went. So going into round 1, my first game plan is to try to focus a particular player with hopes of winning my little 1v1 battle. And of the 4 opponents I have to choose from, I end up going with Maypick. And with this new plan, I actually managed to hold my ground and I give my team just enough time to get the first kill of the match. But it's at this point where I start to make a few mistakes. So after annoying Maypick for an incredibly long time like the parasite I am, Rochambeau shows up, and then my first mistake is thinking I can win this 2v1, and then LettuceK shows up and I make another mistake of trying to fight a 3v1. And I gap out of desperation and try to split them up using webs, but then I remember that I don't know how to play UHC, and as a result this forces me to use one of my precious ender pearls. However, even after pearling, they still continued to pursue me, and just as I thought I was about to die, from the shadows, RecRap and Terrain pull up and absolutely save me. As the fight went on, I made my second mistake of splitting up for my team way too much. It now took me an incredibly long time to reach them, and as a result, Maypick was able to get the upper hand on Vortex and pick him off, meaning that the fight was now a 3v3. And unfortunately, that would soon change, but not for the better. Shortly after Vortex died, I made a very big mistake of trying to fight Rochambeau and Maypick while on low health. This led to me getting killed, making the fight a 2v3, and from there, things didn't go very well for our team. And eventually, after a lot of running around and a great effort from our 2 remaining teammates, we took a loss on round 1. So the second round was relatively normal at first, but while we were fighting, we all failed to recognize something that had been happening. Somehow, LettuceK had managed to transform the entire map into a lake while remaining completely undetected. And right off the bat, the public disapproved. And like the hero I am, I decided that I had to help vanquish this lake once and for all. But before our team could vanquish the lake, we had to fight off the rest of the red team. And after losing 2 of our members and they lost 3 of theirs, it was just down to Vortex and I versus LettuceK. Our strategy for getting rid of the water involved using lava, so we could replace all of the water with stone blocks. However, this would be a slow process. As I began to drain the lake, LettuceK started to attack Vortex, and I figured that if Vortex could hold off Leo long enough, I'd be able to completely get rid of the lake in about 3 to 4 hours. At the time, this seemed like a splendid idea, but that was until Vortex's helmet broke. With Vortex now taking tons of damage, I had to jump into the fight myself. Now even though this seems like a pretty easy 2v1, the entire time that our team had been fighting, LettuceK hadn't been taking any damage. This meant that he had a full inventory of items while we were running out of gaps and armor durability. After eventually realizing that the lake was simply too vast to destroy, I had no choice but to fully devote myself to the fight against LettuceK. And so, with just a little bit of luck, we managed to take round 2. And going into round 3, we immediately had an advantage since Mapik had accidentally left the match midway through round 2, and as a result, it was already a 3v4. This round also started out relatively normal, but that was until I ran into LettuceK, who had gone into a corner because he said that he had to go for 2 minutes. And not even a minute later, I spot something quite peculiar in the corner of my eye, and upon further investigation, I find a little hole that LettuceK had dug himself into. After a brief and failed attempt of trying to fill the hole with lava, I just ended up jumping in there. After looking around and doing some investigative journalism, I ended up finding out that LettuceK simply wanted to make some minecarts underground. Maybe there's more to it, but, you know, I'm not a journalist. The remainder of the round was somewhat generic, so I'll just spare you the details and tell you the highlights. Alright, well, let's see. So I got shot, stabbed. How did that one even happen? TNT wasn't even in the kit. I then made a mistake which almost proved fatal, which was making a 300 days cave only joke right in front of terrain. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I kinda had it coming. And after a bit of an underground strife, we ended up winning the entire match. And so, with lessons learned and a fun time had by all, I want to thank everybody for watching and for the Lifesteal SMP for sending me a nice little invite. Have a good day, everybody.